So let's look now at behavioral or social learning theory and its connection to the commission of crime. So this theory presupposes that when people, and you're going to hear me talk about this theory in the context of the individual I'm talking about being a young person, because oftentimes social learning theory looks at how young people are influenced to commit crimes by watching other people commit crimes. So sort of like differential association theory, if you can recall that theory from the intro to sociology class. So people commit crimes when they model their behavior after people committing the same acts, and especially if they see that behavior being rewarded, either economically or through respect or street cred from other people who fear them, especially if it's violent crime, if the person becomes a fearful, powerful person in the community, someone that people dread, then that's a reward in and of itself. You have a lot of power over other individuals. So that means then that behavior is reinforced by rewards and extinguished through punishment. So the person has to learn that crime does not pay. So it's important for them to see that the bad guy gets punished in order for them to be deterred from breaking the law. So here's the three factors or the evidence to support this theory. Family interactions. When a child has an aggressive or violent parent, and they're able to see that parent impose their will or their use of force on others to get their way, then that is something that might encourage that behavior in a younger person. The environment. If a person grows up in a community that's a high crime area, they're constantly seeing crime taking place right there in the open, but they also see some of the rewards. Now, let me give you an example of that. Let's say you got a kid growing up in the inner city, let's say an inner city neighborhood where there's a lot of drug dealing going on, and the person that's dealing drugs has the prettiest women, has nice cars, clothes, lives in nice houses, or lives in a nice apartment or condo or what have you. Then that young person looking at that might think, well, there are some benefits to crime there. Crime does pay. Look at, he's living large. He's living large and in charge. So that kind of reinforces this idea that crime does have some beneficial consequences, if nothing else, for financial reasons. And then there is mass media. So through violent films, video games, television shows, we tend to see violence perpetuated over and over and over again. So violence is seen as acceptable and oftentimes heroic, and there's no consequence. So you don't necessarily see the bad guy get his just rewards for what that person has done. Or you have what's called the anti-hero. It's the good guy who's really like a bad guy. How often have we seen those films where someone blows up a building? The building is blowing up behind them, and they're just coolly and calmly walking away. Forget the fact that shrapnel or bricks might be flying from a imploding or exploding building. But this person just walks away real calm while there's a ball of fire going off right behind them. Makes it look real cool to blow up a building, especially if people are in it. So this is what I'm talking about, this reinforcement through mass media that violence is acceptable.